It's Wednesday again. This is the Wednesday weekly learning session for local bartending school. My name is Carlos Navia. I do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time and 6 p.m. Eastern time. Everybody is welcome to join live if you are available and be part of it and ask me any questions about anything. If you are already enrolled in local bartending school, there is one link that'll take you directly to this Zoom call. If you are not, there's a separate link that'll ask you for a little bit of information and then give you the link through to the Zoom call, and you're welcome to be a part of this any Wednesday. So we always like to talk about, some different things that are coming around. We're kind of in a little bit of a lull here, between holidays. Easter's over. I hope everybody had a great Easter. So there's not much happening till we get to Memorial Day, and that's kind of the kickoff of summer there. So I was reading something last night, and so it kind of brought me to today's topic and what I want to talk about, which is just a little bit about customer service, dealing with people and how to maximize your tips. I was reading a story a bartender wrote online, and he was at a bar having a cocktail, hanging out. It wasn't very busy, so the bartender is just texting, messing around on his phone. 4 people come in that are cheery. They're having a very good time. The bartender recognizes them. He has waited on them before. They come in, they're having a good time, but the bartender makes them wait, because he's on his phone. The other bartender that's off duty has him a drink, kind of notices this and notices that while they're waiting and he's sending another text that, their mood kind of starts going down. Anyway, they order a round of drinks. The bartender gets the round of drinks, starts in the tab. They hang out for a little while. They order a second round. Then they close their tab out and leave. As they're leaving, they recognize the off-duty bartender hanging out having a drink. They stop, say hi to him, and they let him know the reason they're leaving is because bartender kind of killed their mood because he's not attentive and he's not paying any attention to them. He's just over there texting. The bartender mentions a couple things after that. He mentions that, he's seen the same, the bartender that's sitting there observing, writing the story. He admits that he's seen that same bartender that was not paying attention that night on a Friday night, doing a great job, moving fast, busting his butt, being great with the people, having a great time. But since it was kind of a slow night, he just kind of thrown in the towel and wasn't taking it seriously and wasn't really giving any effort. So, the other thing he noted was, because he had waited on that party of 4 as a bartender before, he knows that if they have a good time, they'll tip 100% or more on their check. But because, that bartender killed their mood, he kind of missed out on that. And so he's, not paying attention because it's a slow night and he didn't really want to pay attention. He could have had a really good night without even working that hard, just by making those 4 people happy. So, it is important that even when it's slow, even when there's nothing going on, you're still attentive, you're still giving, everybody that's in there, still paying the same money as on a busy night. They still want to have the same experience. They still want to have a good time. So, you can really miss out on a big tip, doing something like that and just not being attentive. Pause this for just a second. So, to avoid things like that, I just wanted to talk today, about customer service and how to maximize your tips. And I've taken this from basically what they refer to as the 3 phases of customer service, which is, the preparation phase before you're face-to-face with the customer, the face-to-face interaction, and then after the customer leaves, after the face-to-face, part of the relationship. And I think a lot of it is just about relating to the customer. If you kind of see things from the customer's point of view, and see what they're looking for, you're going to give better service because you understand what they're going for and what they're looking for. So, biggest thing to start with, customer psychology. Why do people pay a premium to go out and eat, to go out and drink when they could, stay home and do it for much less? Why do people go to bars and restaurants? First thing, to be served. They don't want to take the time to cook, they don't want to, clean up after themselves, anything like that. So it's easy. I go out, I don't have to cook, I don't make a mess in my kitchen, I don't have to do dishes, I don't have to clean up. So, convenience is part of it. Social interaction is a big part of it though. And that's really why people pay the premium on, alcohol. The image of, a dark bar and there's three guys sitting by themselves crying into their drink is not a real place. It's not a bar that would be in business very long because it's depressing and no one will want to hang out there, very simply. So, we go out for the social interaction. We want to talk to people. We want to hang out. We want to have a good time. Entertainment, people go out to see live music. They go out to see sporting events. They go out to see different things, rodeos, stuff like that. So that is another big part of the experience. Doing that. So it is, important to realize, especially if you're dealing in sports bars and situations like that, what the people are there for. I've worked at sports bars that had 50 to 60 TVs, and, it's important to know what game is on that people are going to want to watch. And on a Sunday football, in both of the places I worked that had more than 60 TVs, we predetermined what game was going to go on what television. And it was just easier that way. We know what the big games are. We're going to put those on the big screens. We're going to put this game here and here. We put a little map out front when the people are coming the door. Okay, if you want to watch a certain game, that's the TV it's going to be on. Sit yourself accordingly. Please don't come ask us to change the televisions. So entertainment, and they go out for an experience as well. Going out as an experience, it is a recreational experience. If you start to get into talking about people's budgets, and where the dollars come from to go out, yeah, you have a food budget, but, that's generally, what you're taking home, groceries and stuff like that. Going out to eat, that's entertainment budget. That's not a necessity. That's something that we're just doing for fun. And, the other thing is kind of people, and I say this a lot, people leave their brains at home when they go out because it is truly an escape. And that is part of it as well. Whatever's happening in the world, whatever's going on in the world, whatever problems I'm having in my own life, I can escape. I can go to the bar and not deal with that for a little while. What do people expect when they do go out? They expect to pay. I expect to pay a premium. And it's unfortunate that we, get people that are out on a budget or people that are just plain cheap and don't want to pay for it. But you got to realize is that it's part of the experience. I know I'm going out. I know it's going to cost. Especially when you go to something like a movie or a sporting event or a concert, that stuff's going to be expensive. It's just part of it. You realize that walking in the door. Go out for a clean environment. And I think that this is really important. We're still kind of, things are settling down from COVID. It's getting a little more back to normal. But, people want to see a clean restaurant. They want to go out to a clean place. It is one of the first things I look at when I walk into the door of a place is there any garbage on the floor? First thing I look at, because it's really easy to pick it up. And if people just walk by, employees just walk by, simply means they don't care. And, that's kind of all there is to it. So, looking for a clean environment, let's keep it clean. Let's keep everything sanitized as much as we can. And still dealing with COVID, it's important that if people don't feel safe, they don't feel comfortable, they're not going to hang out there. They're not going to spend money there. And, we also go out for great service. And that is a big part of it. I've gotten so many regulars and such great tips for doing not that much for them, and had bosses that thought I was giving them free drinks or over pouring them or stuff like that. One boss just come to me and say, we can't figure out why they all love you and go to you. Easy, because I know what they're drinking. It's going to be there when I see them coming in the door. It's going to be on the bar by the time they get there. I'm always going to have a conversation with them. I don't share my personal problems with them. I don't try to depress anybody or anything like that. It's just that simple. Just take care of people. They're there to have a good time and they're there to be taken care of. So, we want to give great service because that is what people are looking for. And, the experience. Once again, it's the recreational dollars that people are spending, not someone's general food budget. Most people that goes to groceries. These are recreational dollars. It's a recreational experience. And that's what people are looking for when they go out. And I think the other thing, remember, we're frontline employees. You are the face of the business. It's just that simple. Look the part, look nice, It's amazing. I've seen places where people come in dirty shirts and dirty pants and stuff like that and put an apron over it and think that's acceptable. Or, guys don't shave, or ladies don't put their hair back, or don't put makeup on, or too much makeup on, or, different sorts of things. Remember, you're the face of the business. You're a frontline employee. So look nice, look the part, be in proper uniform. And, one of my favorite ones on that, uniform is not complete without a name tag and a smile. And it's just that simple. So what can we do, as bartenders then to maximize tips and create, this good experience for people, this great experience for people? So I talked about the 3 phases of customer service. Phase 1, pre-contact phase. What do we do then? Clean and sanitize. That's the biggest thing. I want to make sure everything's clean. I want to make sure everything's sanitized. Once again, I want to be, properly taken care of and groomed in a clean uniform, ready to go for the day, appearing properly. The other thing is, the room should look nice. All the tables should be put where they are. All the chairs should be put in a nice, orderly fashion. There's a way to kind of set them up diagonally where it's easier for people to get in. If you have table tents, there should be one on every table. If there's salt and peppers, there should be one on every table, or whatever else adorns your tables. Bar stools should all be set, even spaced apart, and give it a nice little turn, all in the same direction. It looks very nice. And, I say it should be aesthetically pleasing. And that's the word for it. It should look nice when I come in. If I come in and a bar's in disarray and there's the bartender over there, on his or her phone, I know that person doesn't want to work. They just don't care. So the bar should be nice. It should be clean. People walk in, aesthetically pleasing. And part of that, the aesthetically pleasing, is they're trying to create a nice atmosphere. We want to bring the lights down to a nice level. And a lot of places will have a mark where you can dim it to that level. Appropriate music on at the appropriate level as well to create that proper atmosphere. I want to make sure everything's stocked. It's important to make sure that we have everything we're going to need for a shift, everything that someone might want. If I have to leave the bar to go get a bottle, I have to leave the bar to go get anything. I'm not making drinks. I'm not making money. And it's just that simple. So I'm going to make sure it's stocked. I'm going to make sure I have everything I need, which, not only liquors, not only mixers, not only beers, not only wines, but if I'm serving food, I make sure that I have appetizer plates, I have silverware, I have dinner napkins, and, I have condiments. And it's just that easy. If someone orders a burger and fries, I will literally stick everything up there and I'll point to it. You got your ketchup, mustard, relish, this, that, hot sauce, A1, Worcestershire, or whatever you can think of. Because I had this happen too many times where ketchup bottle could be right there and someone will say, "Hey, can I get some ketchup?" and stop me from what I'm doing. And it's right there. So I'll just point to it. Do you need anything else? Because I'm going to walk away. And, people don't want you to hover over them while they're having lunch anyway, especially if they're there with someone else. They just want to have their food, get everything they need, have their conversation, enjoy themselves. And, make sure we have the proper setup and that everything's, set up properly from the opening before to the night to when we get there and set up. And next week, we're going to talk about setting up and breaking down bars. So we'll go into a little bit of that. But I'm set up. I'm ready to go. I'm stocked. Everything, the music is on, the lights are ready. And, we've got the right ambiance, as we say, and got my name tag and my smile. The other one, my favorite one, the 3-6, I always say they're all my favorite. The 3-6-10 rule. At 10 feet, I'm making eye contact with the guest. At 6 feet, I am making some sort of physical gesture towards the guest. At 3 feet, I am verbally acknowledging the guest. Hi, folks. How are you doing? Is there anything I can help you find? Eye contact. And sorry, I'm making myself laugh now. CROW is the other one that I always throw out, which is an acronym, CROW, customer right of way. If I have a tray with 1,000 pounds and it's breaking my arm and it's splintering through the skin, I still let all the guests go first. And then I go behind them. The guests always have the right of way. And, just be aware. Don't let people stand there and wait. And that was the big thing that bartender did that, that really upset those folks was he's over there texting while they're standing there waiting for a drink instead of, being prepared. the other thing, pre-contact, last thing is what we used to call coasters down. And very simply, it's this. When the people come to the bar, I greet them. I'm going to put down a napkin. I'm going to put down a coaster. I'm just letting everybody know I've gotten to those people. They're going to order a drink. I'm not going to put it on the bar. I'm definitely going to put it on something. But it's a little bit of a communication if I'm working with another bartender. If I'm in a busy bar and, I greet two people here, boom, I take their order. I put cocktail napkins in front of them. When the other bartender finishes with the customers, he or she finishes with the customers they're dealing with, they turn around, they look for people that don't have napkins in front. If they see napkins in front of people, they're not going to go to those people. They know I've already talked to them and I've already gotten their drink order. So they're just going to move on to the next people that don't have drinks or don't have napkins in front of them, or coasters in front of them if you use coasters, at a sports bar. Same thing, with servers at a sports bar I worked at where I was a manager for, I don't know, a while. When a server first greeted a table, they had to put coasters down for everybody. And it let the manager know that that server had spoken to those people and at least taken their drink order. If I see people sitting there for too long with no coasters in front of them, as a manager, I'll go over and talk to them. Hey, folks, your server's taking care of some other people. Why don't I go ahead and get you some drinks started? I'll throw the coasters down. That way that server knows, hey, I came by and took their drink order. You don't have to worry about it. Finish doing what you're doing and come back and check on their drinks and bring them out to them. So coasters or napkins down, let everybody know that we're taking care of those customers. We've gotten their order. Phase 2, the contact phase. When we are, okay. So I got an error. All right, well, it says it's still recording, so I'm just going to let it keep recording. Let it keep recording and see how that goes. Okay, contact phase. So part 1, introduction, introduce yourself. Put here, because I wrote this a while ago, maybe shake hands, but we're not doing that anymore. Maybe a pound or something like that is all you can do nowadays. Speak clearly and eloquently. No slang, no bad words, anything like that. It's not appropriate. Remember, you're a frontline employee. And work on carrying on a conversation without sharing anything personal. No personal information about yourself or your family or what you do, where you live, anything like that. Be very, very vague, I think is kind of the key to that. My mother played in the Olympics. I'll mention that. I don't ever say her name. I don't say where she lives. I don't say how old she is or anything like that. That's about where I live. It's very vague. It's just random fact that she did. And that's all, so don't get anything too personal, but have something to keep the conversation moving. Because remember, it is about social interaction. That is a big part of it. Be pleasant. I've seen too many bartenders with just horrible attitudes that were just unpleasant people to be around. Should be in a good mood. It's a fun job. People are there to have a good time. So, try to be in a good mood, create a nice atmosphere, be pleasant. And the other thing let's talk about is, can't get the words out, is they call it personalizing the visit. So anybody can take my order and bring me what I want, but this is a server, or bartender make some sort of personal connection. Once again, you want to do this without getting personal about yourself. Easiest thing to do. Someone's wearing a sports logo, hat, shirt, jacket, whatever. Ask them about it. Or college. Ask them about it. They will talk about it. You don't have to know anything about the college, the sport, the team, anything like that. They will tell you about it. So, personalize the visit. Try to make, some sort of connection with the customer and anticipate customers' needs. like I'm saying with the condiments, someone orders French fries, I'm gonna give them ketchup, I'm gonna give them salt and pepper without the mask. If they have to stop me and ask me, they stop me from making drinks from other people. I'm just gonna put it all up there. It's easier for the customer and it's easier for me. And be able to recommend some drinks. Have a couple loaded, ready to go, that you can make that you think are good. And really, personal opinion, I think, is the best thing. Or if you have a specialty drink menu, I might say, I like this one. A lot of people like this one, something like that. But have a knowledge of the drinks, be able to recommend something, be able to make some suggestions to people. Clean continuously, even when I'm busy, as I'm moving and I'm doing a lot of stuff, as I set a drink down, I take an empty glass away. Full hands in, full hands out. Whichever we're moving, we're always taking something with us. I'm not just setting a drink down and going back empty-handed. No, I'm picking up some bar napkins. I'm picking up another glass. I'm cleaning out an ashtray. I'm doing something, after I set that drink down, pushing that stuff away and getting rid of that stuff. So always be cleaning, and try to upsell people. We do work for a percentage. So the higher my sales go, the higher my tip should be theoretically then, because I expect to make about 20% of what my sales are. So, there's some little techniques to upselling. Be transparent. I say that because I'm not trying to make someone a very expensive drink without their knowledge. Okay. Like, someone orders a martini. Sure, you like gin or vodka. Gin, what kind of gin? It's a really easy, non-aggressive upsell because it doesn't really sound like I'm asking for more money. I know people drink martinis, don't really want the well gin. They're going to pick something. They're going to have a go-to. Okay. They know it's going to cost more money. Don't just all of a sudden make someone a very expensive drink and then be like, well, you said make me something good. And, it was good, but $52. So be transparent about it. So phase 3, post-contact phase, into the visit. When people are ready to go, have their checks ready to go as well. Make sure you keep everybody's tabs current. Not only is it good because we all forget stuff, and you might forget to bring up a drink or put a drink in, but if I'm ready to go and I have to stand here and wait for you to go, oh wait, he had 2 more vodkas, his wife had another glass of wine, tips going down that whole time I'm waiting, because I am ready to go. I am ready to leave. If you're holding someone's card to hold a tab open for them, what I'll do, I keep their tab current. What I'll always do is print a copy of their check and I wrap it around their credit card. When that person's ready to go, the Johnson tab, I grab their card, I let them look at it, let me know if that's okay. I always tell them, let them look at it, because I make mistakes. It's fine, cool. I swipe their card, I give it to them. They didn't have to wait. Now I got room for other people to come in and spend money as well. Clean everything off. It kind of sucks, if I've had a meal at the bar or I've had several drinks and I go to pay my tab and I've still got all this stuff sitting in front of me. And there's nothing worse than I go to pay my tab and I've got to move a bunch of trash away to be able to put the little thing down and sign my tab because no one's removed any of these glasses. When the people are done, get everything out of the way. Clean it all up, wipe the bar in front of them, leave it nice and clean so they have a nice clean area, to sign their check, pay their tab, or whatever, anything like that. But yeah, clean the dishes, the napkins, the trash, everything. Get it all out of the way once they're done with all of it. Say thank you and goodbye. And it's such an easy thing, and it's such a weird thing. But they do studies, they do sociology studies, I guess is what it would be characterized at, about people's satisfaction with a place, people's satisfaction with the whole experience as a restaurant. And it's found that their satisfaction goes up greatly if someone says hello when they walk in the front door and goodbye, thank you on the way out. Just that little thing. Not the food, not the drinks, not the service, just that little thing greatly brings up people's satisfaction for the entire visit to a place. So hey, thank you, goodbye. Even if I'm busy, do it. It goes a long way. And hey, appreciate it. Thank you. And make sure they have everything. Believe stuff. Um, I've run so much stuff out to people's cars. Hey, you left this. You forgot your jacket. You forgot your hat. You forgot this or that inside. And the last thing I'll kind of say on post contact is you can get some feedback. And with the technology we have now and the way things are set up now, and it is possible to get some feedback as well. I worked at a hotel where after people visited and left, they would get an email that went to a survey. And instead of looking at Yelp reviews or stuff like that, because Yelp reviews, let's face it, sometimes you just got to take those with a grain of salt. If you read through them, it's very funny, at least to me, what people complain about that is out of the control of the restaurant and why they give them bad reviews. I've seen people complain because it was raining. Like the restaurant has any control over whether or not it rains. So, you kind of got to pick through those and kind of look at them sometimes. But I have definitely been named in many, all good. Thank God. But yeah, that my boss would look through them all, and when someone's named in one or they point out someone specifically, maybe not necessarily by name, boss would come show it to you. Hey, you were mentioned in the Yelp review. And it's good. If I'm doing something wrong, I'm screwing something up, I definitely want to know about it. The hotel situation, like I was talking about, yeah, people would review the bar, they'd review the restaurant, they review the garden, they'd review everything, but they definitely mention bartenders and servers by name in some of the reviews, and good or bad. If you were mentioned in one, it got printed up and given to you. So when you showed up for your shift, it would be kind of laying in the area where you would clock in, or someone, the manager would give it. Me, it would be in the bar cash register, because that's what I'm going to go to. I think the servers ain't give it to. You come open the cash register, put the money in, find a couple of Yelp reviews, or a couple of, they weren't Yelp, but a couple of those reviews where you're mentioned. And have had some come up over the course of the years that weren't too good, and I kind of appreciate it. I had this complaint from a secret shopper in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I'm honestly glad they brought it to my attention, because I really didn't think much about it. But used to have long hippie hair down to here, but I put it back in a ponytail, put my baseball cap over that, so no one really noticed at the bar. Someone observed me take my hat off, pull my hair back, put my hat back on, and not immediately wash my hands. And you know what? They were dead on. They were right on. They completely busted me. It was, subconscious thing I do. And once they made it conscious to me, I never did it again. So, you can get some good feedback, off of some different things. If you look at reviews, or if you have secret shoppers, or, some kind of, they're polling, but some kind of survey or something that maybe the establishment does, that gives you a little feedback on how you're doing. And hopefully it's good feedback. Hopefully it's positive, feedback, hopefully. So I'm going to get a little soda water, because I'm getting right here. All right. So that is our 3 phases of customer service. Other thing I want to talk about today, and have some fun here. It is April 20th, which is 420, which is sort of a holiday for people that enjoy cannabis. It is legal in more states than it is not legal. So I kind of waned on whether to even bring up the topic or not. But since it's legal in more states than not, I think the social, image of it has kind of changed. I figured we could have some fun. There are and it's being played around with, it's being tossed around. It's still kind of in its infancy. But yeah, there are definitely cannabis infused cocktails that are going around, and kind of being created and getting worked on. You know, we're at a point, or at least where I live in California, where the two don't exist in one place. So, you know, they sell it, but they don't have, you know, a coffee shop or a place where you can go use it. They don't have it where there's alcohol. And that's one of the big kind of stipulations in California. Yet, however, I have found out that there are private clubs in Los Angeles area where, yes, they can serve you a drink and you can use cannabis at the same time because it is a private club. And they've kind of found a loophole to working around that. So what that lends to, cannabis infused cocktails. Now, I've seen different stuff around here, people doing stuff with cannabis infused agave syrup and cannabis infused honey. I think they also make like cannabis infused sodas and ginger ale or stuff like that that could be used, you know, to make cannabis infused cocktails. The other thing that can be done is simply put cannabis into a bottle of liquor and let it sit for about a week. Alcohol is a natural solvent. It will connect itself with the oils in the cannabis and bring it out. And then if you just strain the raw materials out, you'll have cannabis infused liquor. And I've been told it does work very well. So that is kind of the other thing that can be done to do that. So if it is legal where you live, you can always have some fun doing that. But I'm not really going to make any cocktails. Since this is just water and not infused with anything, including alcohol, not really going to try to do any cocktails like that. You're all welcome to have some fun and do what you want with that. But I thought, are there 420 cocktails? Because I've definitely worked on an April 20th where people would come in and ask for them in the bar. Not necessarily one that was infused, but one that was kind of themed and had sort of a 420 cannabis theme to it. So definitely found a couple. I knew I would. I didn't really think it would be that hard. So first one's pretty easy. And I'll do it like this. I'm going to grab my Collins glass. I'm going to go ahead and grab a pint glass here and get some ice going in there. Ice scooper. And just a little bit of ice like that. And then what we're going to do is the recipe calls. This one is called Formula 420. So figured perfect to start off here for a 420 drink. So actually, the recipe would call for Seagram 7. It's a blended American whiskey. I have some brown water here that will substitute as that for us, and we're going to put 2 ounces of that in, just like that. Then what we also want to do is put in some Midori melon liqueur to make it green. So we're going to do 1 ounce of this green, what would be Midori melon. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick shake just to fill it out a little bit. Like that. We will get our nice Collins glass here. Nice. And my strainer. And we're going to strain this out. Nice kind of dark green concoction. And we will top it off with just some 7-Up or Sierra Mist, something like that. Give it a straw here. And we'll throw a nice cherry in there like that. And man, we have our Formula 420 for our cannabis looking but not infused 420 cocktail. All right, so got a couple more. This one I liked. Get my mason jar here. This one I liked, so we'll see how this one goes. This glass looks okay. So this one's called Bong Water, and it's going to come out looking really dark and probably kind of nasty looking, but I think it tastes really good. The reviews were really good of it online on the website I found it on. So what we'd start with is an ounce of raspberry liqueur, and I should have something red here. It looks like raspberry liqueur, something like Chambord, razzmatazz, or you could use creme de cassis in a pinch if you wanted to. I'm going to do some blue curacao. So we're going to give it some orange flavor. So a little bit of raspberry, a little bit of orange. Do an ounce of that. We're going to do some almond liqueur, like some amaretto. You know, this brown will give us the same effect of that. We're going to do an ounce of that. Then spiced rum. So something like Captain Morgan's Mount Gay would work, and that's going to be about the same color as brown. So we'll do an ounce of that as well. That will represent our spiced rum there. Then we're also going to need a little bit of sweet and sour mix. Like that. And pop this one in there. We're going to give that a good little shake there. I'm going to grab my mason jar. Fill it up with ice. There we go. We're going to strain out our bong water. It looks nice and black, just like that. We'll give that one a cherry too. A little more cherries. Nice straw in there. We have our bong water cocktail in a mason jar with a handle. So, a couple of good ideas. But there's one that has been around for a very long time. People have been making it as shots for a very long time. I kind of like it better as a cocktail, and we're gonna go with it as a cocktail here. So I'm gonna grab my fancy glass here, and what we're gonna do is called liquid marijuana. So I'm gonna grab a fresh mixing tin and glass here. Throw all my ingredients in. Throw all my ingredients in here. There we go. So what we need is a ½ ounce of everything. First of all, Midori melon liqueur. ½ ounce there. Then we're going to do our blue curacao, ½ ounce there. And what we do, once again, Captain Morgan's spiced rum. So we're going to do our rum in there. And then also coconut rum. Like, why can't I think of it? I can't think of the coconut rum I'm trying to think of. Malibu. Thank you. Something like Malibu. Something like that. So we got some blue curacao, Midori, some coconut rum, some Malibu in there, and then we just need some pineapple juice. Make sure, shake it up a little bit. And then like that. Just gonna give us one a quick shake. All right. Strain it out here into our fancy glass. We'll get a little more pineapple juice on top. All right, we'll give it a straw. Give this one a nice cherry on top as well. Sticking out like that. And there we got it. Liquid marijuana made as a drink instead of a shot. So thought those would be fun and just have a little fun with some 420 inspired cocktails today. So Next week, we will talk about setting up and breaking down the bar. And we will talk about some different cocktails. Probably going to go with a classic type cocktail, maybe a little bit of history of a classic cocktail next week. So thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you all live if you can make it next Wednesday. Thank you.